Hello, beautiful humans. It is XFM Friday, and the last couple times I did an XFM, I'm horrible at time management and all those things, so I kind of had to go to work those days, so I was in a rush. I mean, I tried to do my best and stuff, but these are long, and I make them longer because I talk a lot, but I kind of messed up with that. But today, these are one of those things that also I enjoy, like, a lot, and I don't like to do them rushed. I don't like to do anything rushed, honestly, but stuff like this. And you know what? I feel like you guys on your end don't deserve that either. So I'm doing it today, and I have all the time in the world. I do not have to go to work. I am here. I'm down for this. I love this, and this is gonna be good. So no rush whatsoever. I'm behaving good. We're good. Also, April 6th, that is my bestie's birthday, which passed. And I didn't really get to see him, but I don't know. Maybe I'll see him soon. That's a whole other story. Also, big thank you to Rusty Dog for doing these. Also, I know I'm behind on messages, yes, but I know enough to know that you are having some health issues at the moment. So, first of all, I'm super sorry about that. That sucks. I really hope everything works out and everything is fine and you're fine and all that. I know sometimes that stuff can be scary as stuff. But I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to do this, even though you're not feeling well. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Awesome of you to do that. I know you said, like, it's nice to have a distraction, but you totally don't have to do that and you don't have to feel obligated. But I appreciate it so much, and I wish you nothing but wellness and health and happiness, friend. So just want to get that there. And do I have anything else? Probably not. I feel like I did, but oh yeah. And last things last, I am in a freaking excellent mood, by the way. And this is my favorite time to watch the XFMs because Carl always cheers me up when I'm not feeling well. But when I am already in a good mood, it is a whole different level of just excitement and joy to the max. And that's the way to appreciate Carl. And that is what's happening right now. I got the mood. I got the time. I got it all. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. XFM Series 1, Episode 19, April 6th, 2002. I still like that. We're kind of just almost right there with that. Anyway, let's do this. Carlness.
That was the Travis and some flowers through my window. This is XFM.
It's Stephen Merchant and little Ricky Gervais. And it's ironic because they both have that height difference. Well, not as much as Alex and Greg, but that's beautiful. And I absolutely love that you started using little quirky stuff in the background. Oh, so cute. I love it. Anyway, sorry.
104 my window. This is XFM 104.9 of a Saturday afternoon, just gone 6 minutes past 1. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello there, hi. Good to talk to you.
Carl Pilkington is over there.
All right.
Hey, broke the mood.
Yeah. Respect, Carl.
Oh.
Rick, I just think, we want to lift off the show straight away into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
the best way to do that, it seemed to me, was to resurrect a game we used to play when we first began the show in old XFM days. Do you remember the game? Do you remember the game Make Ricky Gervais
Rub me
Laugh?
hard.
Rub you hard?
No.
No,
Sorry,
that was only in the pilot. We never actually did that on live.
Okay, right.
No, it was the game Make Ricky Gervais Laugh.
Oh, I remember,
and we used to get people, Carl, you probably didn't hear it, we used to get people to sort of send in pictures and jokes and stuff. And
Was that like, what's it called, Season 0 or whatever, Series 0, before I started listening? Or was there a time of this before whatever the hell Season 0 is, where they're like, they weren't recorded? How long is Season 0? I have checked, but I don't remember. But whatever, okay.
I could send in pictures and jokes and stuff, and if I could make Ricky laugh on air with those,
he won a toffee.
Things, then they won a gift of some kind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's cute.
a lot of emails actually saying people love your laugh, Rick. So in a sense, we're giving the public what they want.
They must be taking the mickey.
But this is a picture I found in today's copy of The Sun. So if you're listening at home and you want to know what the picture looks like, rush out and buy a copy, only 40p.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
Are we sponsored by The Sun? We do White Van Man.
Exactly. It amused me straight away, this, because bear in mind,
Right.
it is one of the world's biggest rock stars.
Okay.
Just check out the face.
Okay.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Look at that.
Oh, that is Michael Stipe. Oh dear, we're sort of like looking like I don't know, some sort of Nazi officer. That's not libelous.
That's not libelous. In your opinion, Michael Stein,
Yeah.
he's outside there during the press conference for Peter Buck's.
It's not a good picture. I love REM and I love Michael Stein. I think he's a lovely man, but that's a bad picture, isn't it?
He's got big glasses on and stubble, obviously.
So wait, what? Just the picture made him laugh? Was that like the whole mission accomplished, or were we going somewhere? Because I feel like he already laughed. That was good enough.
Well, he doesn't appear to be looking at anything. He's looking right beyond everyone else. Can you see that, Carl? I'll tell you who he looks like. He looks like Zig, I think, from Zig and Zag.
All right.
He looks like he's a Muppet made of foam.
Oh, love it.
Nice to see that game come back.
Yeah,
with
the
roaring
medium
success.
of radio.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good picture that is. I hope you enjoyed it. Coming up soon, we've got Sir David of Bowie, Nicholas Cave, and Travis. Flowers in the Window again. Play a song. Aerodynamic on XFM 104.9. It's alright. It was alright there.
Uneventful, wasn't it?
Really? Sort of like I left a sequencer going.
Yeah. Popped out for a coffee.
Yeah. I don't want to diss the funny little French lads.
Sure.
But, you know.
Try harder.
Are they French?
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
Sorry.
God, yeah.
Do you speak much French, Rick?
I speak un peu. Yeah.
I can ask, where is the Tourist Information Bureau? And, I can express my preference in music tastes, and I can order an Orangina, and that's all I can do.
I know bière, blonde, pression, I think. That means, draft, yeah, French.
To Emily Musique Folk?
Oh. That's filthy. So what that means, Carl?
No, go on.
Really dirty. Really dirty.
To Emily Musique Folk.
Yeah, you dirty. you filthy little
Frenchie. Alright.
You can hear like Carl making little noises, kind of like getting nervous.
Do you know much French? Alright. Do you know much French, Carl?
Have you got any fromage?
Love it. Love his face there.
That'd work.
That'd
Cheese or fish?
It's cheese. It's cheese.
Would you not care which one you were given? You like both?
I think
That's a whole different kettle of poisson.
Yeah. I just think when you're in a country, you should have a little go.
Well,
that's a very little go.
Please. I mean, Carl, no. Dude, no. Don't lie. We saw you. We saw you go all around the world. Why are you lying?
I just think when you're in a country, you should have a little go.
well,
that's a very little go.
Yeah. You mean like football hooligans have a little go? What do you mean?
You know, try and have a go at their language. And
well, what I do is I go in there and I point.
I don't recall him at any point in An Idiot Abroad learning any word. Maybe that's just me, though, because my memory sucks, but I don't recall him making any kind of effort whatsoever. Maybe I'm wrong, but it definitely wasn't like a high point that he did every episode or something. Like, come on.
Talk a well, what I do is I go in there and I point and talk a bit louder than usual in perfect English, and if they don't get it, I go mental.
Exactly.
Securing the fact that I've tried my best and they're having a laugh.
And that is the prerogative of all Englishmen.
Or just point.
Point and shout.
Yeah, point and shout. Don't forget, you know, because you can never be foreign if you're English anywhere. No, they're speaking funny. Just remember that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
God save us. Sorry, go on then. You were going to say something else.
Yeah. That picture you were showing me.
Yeah.
I wish we could post one on the website of Carl. Remember we won an award ages ago. What was it called? The British Radio Authority Award.
Yeah.
And we made Carl get in the picture, and he was a bit reticent, but it came out nice.
Oh
but
my God, I love that. I love when extremely tall people take pictures with other people and they just open their legs to the max to kind of just bring themselves down a bit. I love that. I don't know why. It's such like a power move. I love it. May not be the same picture. It doesn't matter. It's a good picture. But I absolutely love when people do that, because otherwise he's just, if he was standing up like straight and proper, he'd be passing the little billboard thing behind him. He's gone. He'd be out of frame. But I just love that. That's so cool for some reason. Probably because I'm tiny and I have to, like, I'd be on my tippy toes to try to be next to people. So I don't know. That's just awesome.
His head, it can't be nice, but his head is perfectly circular. I put a coin on it, and only the ears popped out from behind the coin. Isn't it perfectly round, isn't it?
I mean, when you've been saying I've got a round head, I was a bit like, yeah, everyone has. Stop having a go.
Yeah.
And then I saw this picture last week. I thought, God, he's right.
Can't we just pop it on the XFM website?
I'd rather not.
I'll go on, just get
Steve,
someone...
have you seen that man in a jar without a brain?
Sorry, you have to, is that...
What? Okay, incomplete is not having. Oh, I did not know that was a thing. Okay, I learned something.
Something, is that a product you can buy?
Oh God, no!
In a jar without a brain.
Sorry, is that a product you can buy? In like Sainsbury's?
Is it a dream you had yesterday?
Man in
You
a
wondered
jar.
if you could... Can I... yes, hello, could you make my dream into reality, please? Oh, we can't actually, sir. In, plastic would be good.
Sorry, what do you mean?
In the
man?
future, you'll be able to download your dreams and then just, like, act them out again, probably, in the year 2000 or something.
Soothsayer.
No, there's some museum somewhere
Yeah.
that's got this little fella who was born without a brain, and he's in a jar, and it's just that he's got a really round head.
Right.
And when I saw this picture,
I kind of don't want to go back and see it because that was kind of. I'm not gonna lie. Like I appreciate the picture for just learning purposes and all that, but it kind of creeped me out. So I don't want to go back. But if anything, seeing that picture, my first thought was not round head. It was huge freaking creepy ass eyes, right? But that's okay. Sure.
I thought, God, it just reminded me of this little fella in
Yeah.
a jar.
Oh, and what do you mean he's born without a brain?
He was born without a brain.
So it's a baby?
It's not a little fella.
Well,
Yeah, but it's working.
Do you know the difference? Do you have conversations with, like, people in prams thinking, that fella's little and he doesn't talk much?
Yeah.
You know babies aren't, like, little people.
Well, maybe...
Well, they are little people, but I mean, they're not very small adults. They're not like midgets.
They don't do a job of work, is what we're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, you're very, no. What do you
I
mean?
didn't read about it, I just saw the picture. And
This
it
is
looked
where
like
you're
a man.
going wrong, Carl. This is always
it's
your mistake.
fine.
You see the
It's
picture, you
good.
don't read the little caption.
But what do you
underneath.
mean? How do you think-
guess at what you think the meaning
But how
is.
did you know he didn't have a brain?
Because he
That's
read
about
the
the brainless man.
There you go.
Yeah, but people say that about you. It doesn't mean you literally you haven't
No,
got a
no.
spinal.
I bet somebody's seen it and knows what I mean. It's a famous picture. It's
Right,
like-
cool.
I know what you
Oh,
mean.
wait, so-
Thanks to Rusty. I'm with you, Carl. I'm backing you up 2,000%. You're on it. You're on fire. Keep going.
700, 800, 1234. Once again, you win a prize if you can tell us what Carl is talking about. Just in general. It's an ongoing competition.
He said it perfect. It's an ongoing. That's so mean. He's. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. He's spitting straight up facts. Okay, the only thing they're stuck on is because he said little fella, but I mean, a baby's a little fella, so it's just a quirky way to say it, I guess.
We're trying to find some CDs to anyone who knows what Carl is talking about. Stereophonics, Vegas, 2 times. Well, we've had calls confirming that there was indeed, a fetus, or a stillborn child.
A pickled baby.
A pickled baby.
Oh.
No wonder it died. Born without a brain. But everyone has, pointed out that it wasn't a little fella.
It certainly wasn't a little fella.
No.
But because it had been in the jar for a long time, I think it had aged a bit.
What are you basing that on?
You do carry on growing, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, your ears and your nose.
Your ears and your nose. And your eyes don't grow, so,
Yeah.
you could probably, yeah.
I'll dig it out for you.
Yeah.
Imagine if, like, there was an experiment where they were raising a child just based on the information that we said on the radio. What kind of a person?
Like
says
download,
it?
yeah. And it
What
just,
information would they
and
have?
it took everything literally.
Exactly.
And I think, there's no irony or, it was just...
Everything we said they assumed was fact. Everything that
and-
Carl said.
Oh, dude, there's a whole... I'm guessing there's a whole one of those little subreddit things. But there's a whole lot of places where you can find info on things that people understood literally when they were kids and just like how long they thought that and they only found out that it wasn't that way until they were adult. Oh my God, so many. And some kids take things so literally and just... You know when you learn something, sometimes the topic doesn't come up again. So it takes years until the topic comes up again and you find out, whoa. What? I had that wrong for like 10 years just because I assumed I learned it properly. And then when people talked about it. So I had an example of what I read the other day and I cracked up, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Anyway, there's no point in me remembering because I'm not gonna. But if anybody cares to look up that kind of stuff, it's just so funny because kids take information so just exactly what you tell them. They don't have that little reasoning process that you do as an adult that you learn to have later. So just sometimes the funniest stuff comes out, dude. Just wow. I have a couple of those myself, but man, this is not the time. Oh, nope.
And any question out about the world, it can only ask Carl.
Exactly.
And it would
See,
be
now,
his...
this worries me because without wishing to be disrespectful in any way, Carl, you know I think you're the best man on earth.
Sure.
When you have a child, we could be in a situation a bit like that. Do you know, is it a concern for you, do you think, that, like, when your son's growing up, or your daughter, and they're asking you questions, you're conscious, I mean, you yourself have admitted that you have a sphere of knowledge which you are an expert on.
Ask your mother.
You'd say ask your mother.
That's good.
That's great, fair enough.
That's good.
And I'd play with it. I think I'd be a good dad.
Yeah, I think you would.
But I wouldn't be the one who's shouting at it.
No.
No.
I'd
Who would
just
you
let-
get to shout
I'd
at
let
it? Probably Windsor Davis. He'd be good, wouldn't he? You horrible little man!
Well, you know, I'd tell it the rights and wrong. You don't have to be a really bright
Wait,
person.
what's it called?
You know,
It ain't half... Oh. Oh, I'm bad at reading. It ain't half hot, Mom. Okay. I read something completely different, and it was not making sense. Okay, we're good.
tell it the rights and wrong. You don't have to be a really bright person to know the rights and wrong in the world.
Yeah.
No, I think you are bright, Carl.
You are. And at what point in their life would you tell them about the evolution of the baguette, which you told us?
Or the story of the bee.
Yes.
That you scored once.
Or the two children. Would you ever get them to meet as maybe, I don't know, they could be godparents? The friends you had at school
Yeah,
with webbed hands.
the big heads and
Big
webbed
heads.
They
hands.
weren't my friends.
That weren't friends.
I wish we could track them down.
Oh, that'd be great.
I imagine they're in a zoo. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
two big
A safari
jars.
park, yeah.
Two big jars. Industrial strength jars. Oh, dear.
Man.
Guess what?
Go on.
This is one of our last shows. We're going away, I'm afraid, on the 4th of May, isn't it?
I can't remember.
That's our last show, the 4th of May.
Yeah, not forever.
I brought a downer on the whole thing, then, didn't I?
He's making it like so dramatic. Yeah, not forever.
Yeah, not forever.
I brought a downer on the whole thing then,
Yeah.
didn't I? There's people cheering. Well, guess who's taken over from us? And I found this out. I was watching Liquid News the other night.
Right.
No one had called me.
News.
Zoe Ball.
Well, she's a good presenter, but is this confirmed?
I don't know. Or should I have said that?
Is this true?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, yeah, you've done it now.
Yeah.
She was in the other day. You watched it on the telly, so...
Yeah.
But what annoys me is, this is rather like when we got, according to last week's Media Guardian, we got wrapped.
Wait, no, I'm stuck. What's Liquid News? Why is Liquid... Is it just news about things that are liquid? Like rain and hurricanes and tsunamis and, oh, this town flooded and it's liquid news. What? Why? That's so odd to me. Okay.
For,
So, right now.
Yeah.
She was in the other day. You watched it on the telly, so...
Yeah.
But what annoys me is, this is rather like when we got, according to last week's Media Guardian, we got wrapped for saying the word cock on the radio. What we never did we? We had to read that on the internet. No one ever told us
that just slipped out of your mouth, didn't it?
What's that, cock?
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway.
Still on it.
Now we don't even get told face to face that Zoe Ball's going to take over.
Yeah, but it was only, like, sorted out the other day, and then when I saw you...
We're allowed to say ball, aren't we?
Yeah. When I saw you yesterday, I said, yeah, it's...
So we're not allowed to say...
Oh.
No. I'm not going to say the word, and we're not going to say... We're not allowed to say the... We are allowed to say the male bird is a cock. We're not allowed to say the other one, but we are allowed to say ball.
Yeah.
What if her and her dad, Bobby, would we be able to say a pair of balls? Would we be able to say that? And I don't know.
I don't think he's part of the deal. So you don't need to.
In fact, if she's listening, call in and confirm it. We'd let her on the air, won't we? As long as she doesn't swear.
Yeah, don't be rude.
Yeah, don't be rude, Zoe.
Blue.
Yeah.
Don't be cheap, basically.
Better warn as well not to leave too much nothing lying around, because it'll be gone. Especially if it's skag. Echo and the Bunnymen. Killing Moon. Good to hear that again.
Yes.
On XFM 104.9.
Who are you?
I'm Ricky Gervais. Who are you?
Steve Merchant.
Who's that
I'm
funny
Mandy.
little round-headed fellow over there?
You know what I feel like when I do that? Especially just then. There's this scene, I think it's Shrek 2, where Shrek meets Fiona's parents and stuff, and they're at the table, and everybody's like saying each other's name. Mom, Dad, Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey's Donkey! Just to feel included. Oh, that's sad. I made myself feel sad. Oh, it's gone. It's fine.
Paul Pilkington.
Pilk.
Who are you?
I'm Ricky Gervais. Who are you?
Steve Merchant.
Who's that funny little round-headed fellow over
Carl Pilkington.
there? Pilky. Pilkers.
Well, she hasn't called, so...
You know what I wonder? Because I have the images of them. It's there. I know them well. I've seen them in a bunch of things together. I've seen the animated version of them. I have pictures that come up beautifully every once in a while. But people that used to listen to these guys on the radio and don't really have the image of Carl Pilkington in their head, because they never really seen him before or anything, because, I mean, he's just kind of starting out. I'm so curious as to what kind of image are they making in their head when they're constantly talking about him, saying he's a round-headed buffoon or has the roundest head in the world. And, like, what kind of image can one conjure up with only hearing the things that they're saying about him? That's just, like, the creepiest kind of stuff comes to my mind. Just circus-level stuff. Jeez. And he kind of just has to live with that? That's funny.
True.
I just didn't think...
Well, she hasn't called, so mustn't be true.
Who called what?
Pilky. Pilkers.
Well, she hasn't called, so mustn't be true.
I just didn't think we were, being disrespectful to her, because we both think she's a fine presenter, and I think she'd do very well on there. I think it's a good move as well.
Yeah, but can you just say it's not forever?
Isn't it?
No,
I think she'll become more popular than us.
And I think that'll be the end of us, to be honest.
Well, she can string a sentence together.
I think she'll get lots of PR and everything. And she goes out with Big Boy Slim.
Big Boy Slim.
Who's, you know...
A good DJ.
He's a good DJ. And, is her name Zoe Slim now?
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, there will be nothing.
So wait, if she were to marry and she would want to hyphenate, it'd be Zoe Slimball? That's an interesting name.
It's 3 months, isn't it? She's taken over for. Is she getting paid the same as us?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I bet it's a hell of a lot more.
I'll go mental.
I bet it's good money. It's good work.
I'll go mental.
Yeah,
Well, there you go. What are you going to do?
I'm,
for 3 months.
I'm gonna have Saturdays off.
What
Is
are you
she...
gonna
Are you going to present with her? Are you going to come on and press the buttons?
He's not allowed.
No, I hope not, because, you know, you're our...
Yeah.
Whipping boy, co-presenter.
Yeah. You're like our little fella in a jar.
Yeah.
It's
In fact, that's what we should do with you over those 3 months.
No.
Keep it in a jar, and we can have it in alternate weeks. Like step-parents or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Brilliant, just you can
Oh,
do the
me and
jar.
Steve will fight for custody.
Yeah, it'll be a big jar though, you can put stuff in there.
You can have, it won't be like, full of water or vinegar or whatever they do. Or
You won't become Pickled
formaldehyde.
Carl.
No. It'd be like big air chamber, and you're sat there, and it'd be like a little, what would he be in, an armchair or something?
It'd be in an armchair, and we'd have stuff in there, and we'd bring your girlfriend like once a week, and she'd go. No, we put a blanket over the top so we wouldn't, you know, see anything.
But like the
intimate.
Big Brother household.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that's a hell of a documentary.
Oh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Carl in a jar.
But anyway, that's not, so we're going away on the 4th of May for 12 weeks.
It's a long time, isn't
We
it?
were doing the second series of The Office, so
12
we can't
weeks.
be... 12 weeks.
It's a long time, isn't
We
it?
were doing the second series of The Office, so we can't be around, I'm afraid. And Zoe Ball's standing in for us. And,
That can't be right. She's not. I don't think you can say standing in for us.
Isn't that right?
Taking over the show, I think, would be fair to say.
I don't know. I can't say anything now, can you? I'm
Don't
worried
say
about
that.
that. Just because he goes up with Big Boy Slim, you got to be careful what you say.
Yeah. Carl, you look upset.
Are you starting to think that we're getting melancholy now that you're just gonna sit at home? What are you gonna do every Saturday?
Dunno. Go shopping.
Let's sort out a jar.
DIYs.
We've got to do the balloons before then as well. You've got to send you up in a balloon. Maybe we can send you up in a balloon and you come straight down into a big jar.
Yeah.
And they put
A giant cork in straight away.
yeah, and there's a big cheer.
I'll tell you what we could do. We could set you adrift like Robinson Crusoe, set the bottle, and see where you end up.
If you find me, yeah. Oh, you might go to an uninhabited island or something.
I'll tell you something I learned in the week.
Go on.
Just reminded me there about going up in the air.
Go on.
Right? If cars could drive up, it only take an hour to get into space.
Which is great.
Going how fast?
About 50 miles an hour.
You just made that up, didn't you? You just you just guessed that. You just guessed it. You just said about 50.
Yeah,
See,
but
this is what worries me.
but-
If you have a son or a daughter,
Yeah.
age 50, he's
Yeah.
going to be out in the street with a ramp pointing into the sky.
Dad, how long do elephants live? About 1,000 years. 1,000 or something.
I wouldn't say
Dad,
that.
how much can an ant lift? About a quarter of a kilogram, probably. About 2 bags of sugar.
If you guess, it's not fact.
Yeah. Just because you thought it, that doesn't make it a fact.
That's a good
Does anyone
point.
know how
I'm
long it'd
sorry,
take a
Carl,
car
I love
going
you.
50
Let's
miles
not
an
get.
hour?
People are phoning
to
in
go
about
into
anything
space.
now, Rick.
Yeah.
We asked them to phone in about the jar thing. Switchboard lit up. It's crazy. You ask them to phone in about, like, you know, something sensible,
Yeah.
like Che Guevara, or,
Yeah.
you know, the life of
I
Winston
know the fact
Churchill.
that
There's nothing.
That is really a demographic sort of snapshot of
Exactly.
our fans.
Our audience.
Ask them about a dead baby without a brain.
Oh, yeah,
And
straight
they're
on the
reaching
phone.
with their phones. They don't mind what their bill
Yeah.
is that much.
We ask them for, you know, I don't know, great quotes or something
yeah.
from the great philosophers. Nothing.
They're just
ask
looking
them
at the
where to
phone.
buy, meths cheap. Straight on the phone.
Oh, do you know the quotes that Ricky gave me last week and I turned them down?
Yeah.
I got home, girlfriend had a go at me.
They don't know you turned him down. What you know is that he said he didn't want to take the book at the end of the show, so I'm not taking it, it's too difficult. I'm going to go and get a nice one and go on, carry
Yeah,
on.
so I went home and Suzanne said, "Where's the book?" She was really looking forward to having a look at it. I said, "Oh, I gave it him back, I wasn't up for that." And yet last week I was ill and stuff, I wasn't in the mood for learning.
Yeah.
So I'm not having it. She goes, "This is where you went wrong at school."
Oh.
She said, "This is exactly where you went wrong." She said, "You know, you liked infants, you liked, you know, your colouring in and your painting
that's
stuff. You liked..."
That was a weird way to say that. Sure. Thank you for clarifying. Because what the hell? To me, that's kindergarten. 4 to 7. You guys count stuff. I was gonna say weird, but different. Different would be the word. Okay. To me, 4 is preschool, 5 is kindergarten, 6 is first grade, and 7 is second grade. But sure. And it's preschool, kindergarten, elementary school starts at 6. And then whatever, it goes on. But sure. Thank you.
She said, "You know, you liked infants, you liked, you know, your colouring in and your painting stuff." She said, "But as soon as it gets to the heavy stuff, you just, you know, you're like a horse with its blinkers on.
Yeah.
So you just shut yourself away." So I said, "No, I just..."
I just had the best mental image ever. Because he said horse with the blinkers on, right? And to blinkers are the lights on the car, like the hazard lights. So I was so confused for a second. And then I got the image of a horse with blinker lights flashing, sure, because that makes sense. Blinders, I think is what he meant, right? The freaking blinders. Oh my God. Jesus. It really pays off to have a very detailed imagination while listening to these guys because, oh, it's so gratifying. Ah, man. horse with his blinkers on. That is a responsible horse. Not gonna lie.
I could have myself away. Horse with its blinkers on.
Yeah.
So you just shut yourself away. So I said, no, I could have done if I wanted to. So anyway, we went and bought a quotations book, so I have got some quotes. This
What's the quotation book
Okay.
you bought? So I was asking him to read Keats and Wilde, Wordsworth, Shakespeare. What did you buy?
It's quotes with, like, Eric and Ernie and that in it. No, but it's still quotes.
They're still quotes.
The Sesame Street book of quotes. Brilliant. They're still valid. No, it's a starting place. It's a starting point.
There you go. See? Yes, they're still quotes. Why do quotes have to be brilliant, smart, or poetic? They can be fun, sure. You gotta see. That's the thing. When you have a student that doesn't like learning and doesn't like just things, you gotta appeal in a different kind of way. Will it add anything to his life? Maybe not, but like Smirch said, it's a start. That's how you start. Okay? Jesus.
Point.
Okay.
Well, valid. No, it's a starting place. It's a starting point.
Okay.
Well, we'll have some quotes.
We'll have some of that after
We've got a lot
yeah.
more to get through
After.
before.
We've got a bit of new order.
Bit of new order.
Excellent. New order.
I was expecting
Here
that.
to stay. On XFM 104.9. Someone, I love our listeners. I really do, right? Someone just called in and said it's about he went, hello? Carl answers the phones. The bloke said, hello? He went, hello? He said, yeah, about putting Carl in a big jar. And Carl went,
Nope.
go on. And the bloke went, well, then you could call him Carl Pickleton. And he went, thanks. I love the bothering. I like Carl Pickleton. That's lovely. That's so sweet. He spent 50p to tell you that, and you were worried. You just saw you going up in a balloon and landing in a jar again, didn't you? What have you gone through yet? You've had nothing but good feedback from this show now, and now you're just getting all worried, aren't you? Heat magazine say you're a genius. You got your picture in that Extracts magazine with a little round head. You have Jaffa cakes. I gave him a £5 the other week to buy biscuits. He's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
This is his best day. This must be your best 2 hours of the week.
I enjoy it, yeah. It's alright sometimes.
Yeah?
Sometimes.
What's better regular than this for you? What's a better 2 hours a week? Sleep doesn't count.
Actually, you're probably right, it might be this.
Yeah?
Aw.
Yeah.
So he's gonna miss it for 12 weeks. That's adorable.
Or, that 24 thing's good. I like that. I'm
Probably
not
worth
telling.
mentioning.
Suzanne.
Yeah, your girlfriend.
Your girlfriend.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying, doesn't it?
Oh, he's
You know what I
done
mean?
it. He's
There
pulled
you
it
go.
round. He's pulled it round. He's a charmer.
If you could come in and sit in the corner, then yeah, it would be the best time ever.
That's pretty sweet, actually.
Oh.
She's not even in London at the moment.
Was
so-
that sweet? It sounded a little weird to me. Kind of like having a dog or something, but okay, if we want to see it the sweet way, sure, we can do that. All right, I'll give you that. Sure. That's sweet. Sure.
Then yeah, it would be the best time ever.
That's pretty sweet, actually.
Oh.
And she's not even in London at the moment.
Oh, so
I
you
don't
want
even
then?
have to say that.
I
Yeah.
had to say it, and you did anyway.
Yeah. That's
She might-
lovely.
She might be listening. Somewhere.
Yeah, it's Sky
Just in
Digital.
case.
There's always that. There's always
that danger.
Cover all the bases.
Anyway, Steve, over to you.
I just was wondering, because I've had an exciting week, relatively speaking, Rick, because
Yeah.
instead of just spending it all with you,
Yeah.
sat in a little room,
Yeah.
as is our way,
Yeah.
I've been doing some acting this week, as you
I know.
And I don't normally act, but I, basically, there's some people at the BBC who are making a comedy pilot, kind of comedy TV show, and, you know, and I auditioned for it, and the role was to play a sort of freaky-looking, sort of lanky geek, you know, and I don't want to say...
How did you beat off?
I don't want to sound arrogant, Rick, but they gave me the job on the spot.
Damn it, because I was just going to say, I want to see that. Oh, damn. I wanted to look that up, especially if it's like his beginnings in acting, because he's a great actor. I mean, I haven't seen him in that many things yet, but there's several things that are on my to-do list, but I saw the Click and Collect movie. He did great. I mean, the script, the whole story was a little meh, but he did great. And then he had a tiny part in Shaun of the Dead, or one of the Shaun of the Dead. What was the other one called? It wasn't Silence of the Shaun. What was it? Why can't I remember? Why am I this way? Well, whatever. In one of those, he lost like a goose or something. That was great. And did I see him in anything else? Well, oh yeah! Extras. He was brilliant there. So damn. So that's like ungettable. Nobody in the world has that, has seen that, has a copy of that. I want a copy of that.
You know, so it was like, you know, obviously I'm, you know, because I'm not a bad actor, I'm not as good as Rick, but I'm, you know,
What is it?
I play a really tall guy, like a sort of.
That's the part though, isn't it? About you've got a
I'm a character who's 6'7" tall, and I'm trying to win the world's tallest man.
That's it, yeah.
But there's always a man that beats me every year because he's slightly taller. But this year, I think for some reason, because I've been training, I can beat him.
That's the conceit.
And Sally Phillips, I don't know if you know Sally Phillips, she's a very good comedy writer and actress, and she's written it. So it was good fun, and so we went down there, and it was good and everything. It was, you know, a little trailer and everything. It was like the proper deal. It was really good. And the problem was yesterday, I had to dance. One of the sequences had me dancing. Now, as you know, I think I'm a pretty groovy dancer. I'm a bit of a mover. Yeah. And I have to tell you this, Rick.
Do you have anyone's eye out with your elbow?
I have come to some serious realizations about my dancing.
Really?
I was moving around like a Shire horse dancing.
Really?
It was terrible. I was just like quick, and they had this choreographer trying to show me some moves, and it was just.
He was just like crying by the end of it.
It was they were yeah. It was so bad. But the worst thing about it is, today my whole body is ravaged with pain and agony. I'm utterly devastated by the agony of it. Trying to get down the stairs this morning, I swear to God, I looked like Thor Hurd. Trying to hobble down. It was mad. I was like I'd had several hip replacements. I was like, I got to go down an angle, going down the stairs. It was ludicrous, and I was really worried. Suddenly I'm thinking, because I thought I was pretty fit and pretty groovy and everything. And I had been discussing with this mate of mine, my housemate, that we should maybe start doing some exercise, because I'm putting on a little bit of weight, right? He's quite a thin, tall guy. He has a belly. I don't know how to summarise it. Have you ever seen the film Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Really?
It's slightly grotesque. So the two of us, so we decided that we were going to do some exercise.
What
grotesque.
is that? I've never heard of that. What the hell? Is that a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger got pregnant? What? I understand why I've never heard of that. Apparently it's terrible because it didn't catch on, but what? Okay. Sure.
I don't know how to summarise it. Have you ever seen the film Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Really?
It's slightly grotesque. So the two of us, so we decided that we were going to do some exercise together. Right? This is what we.
Can you imagine a friend describing you on air as grotesque? Ouch. Like, calm down, Jesus. That would stick. You know how sometimes people's words stick forever? That would be one of those. Ouch, dude. Not cool. We're talking about a homie. You're supposed to lift homies up, not bring them down. Jesus.
We decided that we were going to do some exercise together, right? This is what we're going to do. Each morning we were going to get up, we were going to exercise together.
That won't happen.
Right, well, no, but wait, Rick. You see, you're wrong, because a couple of days ago I said to him, listen, what we should do is get one of those, like, health videos, you know, those kind of training videos, what they called, like, I don't know, they might have an aerobics thing, or a sort of hour-long workout. And I said to him, get one of the ones that's hosted by, like,
Pauline Quirk.
Elle Macpherson or Cindy Crawford, you know, someone like that, someone sexy, right? So, I swear to God, we went down this morning, we put it on, right? Just want you to picture this scene, right? It's me.
Okay, I gotta say,
right,
because it's in my head. That lady, I don't know what name he said, but that's Janine. And that is only Janine. Joey's roommate, that's it. Like, I didn't know she did anything else. That's just Janine. So, I don't know who he thinks he's talking about, but sure.
I swear to God, we went down this morning, we put it on, right? Just want you to picture this scene, right? Sure. It's me and my mate in our shorts, right? 9 o'clock in the morning, working out.
You didn't actually do it.
To Helen from Big Brother.
I'm so curious. Is that elbow and that red sneaker, is that Ricky? Because I've seen pictures of Ricky running, and that looks like that can be Ricky. Also, he looks like he's suffering so bad. He looks like he's having a terrible time. Oh, boy. All right.
Working out.
You didn't actually do it.
To Helen from Big Brother's video, right? It was the cheapest one, Steve, you told me. Thanks very much, mate.
We saw that advertised as well.
working out right, and the two of us in our shorts, she's there, like, she's the
there,
closest there is to a living Homer Simpson, right, shouting out stuff. I just wanted to be reassured with it. There's nothing gay about that, is there? There's nothing a touch kind of fruity about that image.
No, I mean, the ones you do avoid would be sort of Liza Minnelli workout.
Cher.
Graham Norton, obviously.
Yeah. Del Winton.
Gay Byrne.
Right, sure.
He's not gay.
No.
But, I mean, the name's a little bit gay, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think Helen from Big Brother, you're probably safe. Who else? I don't know what else to tell you, really.
But I mean, because I know you've got a personal trainer. I'm obviously not in that kind of stakes. There's kind of stakes at the moment. I don't have that kind of cash.
No.
But, I'm obviously quite excited. What have I got to look forward to? Do I go through a pain barrier?
My trainer, Pink Eric, we call him.
Yeah.
No, I sort of box a little bit.
But what I'm saying is, do you go through a pain barrier?
No, I stopped way before that.
Right.
And I sit down and have a beer.
Right.
There's no point in going through the pain because it'd just put you off.
Sure.
So, if you start feeling any sort of pain or any, breathlessness or any aches, sit down immediately.
If your heart rate goes up just a little bit, sit down. Dude, pain from actually working out properly and just getting stuff done and just lifting weights and and having all that testosterone flow or whatever. Pain after that, it's not bad pain. Yes, it can be agony to go downstairs or if you drop something, you have to like squat down and pick it up. It's awful. But it's one of those pains that it's gratifying. It feels good. Because you know what it took to feel like that, and you know that after that pain goes, next time you work out, it'll hurt less, and blah, blah, blah. And it's a good thing, you know? It took something great to get there. Also, me personally, and I believe my brother as well, my brother loves working out and stuff, when we get to that point where you're just in agony for a couple days, every time, I'm going to speak more for myself, but I've seen him do it too. But every time you have to do you cough, and that just kills. Sneezing, oh my God, who thought sneezing could hurt so much? But every time I do something that, it just, ouch, it hurts, I always end up cracking up. And that actually makes it hurt more because I'm laughing and it hurts my abs. The ones that I wish were there. But, but you know what I mean? And I just end up laughing because I'm in so much pain from working out. It's like a good thing. It's weird. I know, trust me. But it's positive. It's not like what they're describing.
He's worked out.
Sit down immediately.
No, is it like that he's worked out a special routine for you where you don't have to get up?
Yeah, well, he actually said, I remember the first, I got my food diary, and he was looking at it, and I could see he sort of feared it. He feared taking on this challenge. And this is a true quote. At one point, he said, right, okay, cut cheese down to 5 times a week then. I must have haggled from 4. Cheese down to 5 times a week. And it's sort of like, I'm my own worst enemy. Because if I cut out cheese and beer, I would just lose weight. Like, it would drop off me in a month. So what I'm doing, I'm fighting it all the time. I haven't changed my sort of eating and drinking habits, but I now work out 3 times a week. It is an uphill struggle, Steve.
Yeah, of course.
It's just
so you're just keeping it an even keel.
I know. Well, yeah. So I can live longer to eat more cheese and beer.
Do you exercise, Brad? Do you do any exercise whatsoever?
I used to go to a gym in town, but it wasn't the sort of the hard work of doing the stuff. It was just like, it was like 60 quid a month.
Yeah.
I thought, well,
crazy, isn't it?
That's not good. So I just got out of my way to sort of walk everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Instead of jumping on a bus.
Sure.
Like a nice day like today.
If you have time.
Walking to work. Or,
is it a nice
run
day
up
to
the
die
stairs.
that day? Personally, I used to eat, okay, I guess cheese to Ricky was chocolate to me. I had a moment in my life where I used to eat it every day and more than once a day. I used to eat a lot of it. Not that long ago, too. But I decided not to cut it out of my life. I cut it out of my life for a month to see if it'd have any impact on, like, my life and my body, and it did. I lost weight, obviously. Duh. But, like, my whole body changed, which was nice. I was happy with that, right? And then I had to cut it down to maybe once a week or once every 10 days. And honestly, I mean, chocolate's my favorite thing in the world, but I'm not dying. Like, I don't miss it. If I want it every week or so, I can have some. It's fine. But it's more of a habit thing. And again, I'm happy with the results. So it's totally doable. But cheese and beer 5 days a week is, like, I say that from where I am now. But chocolate every day and twice a day is, yeah, that's bad, dude. So I'm in no place to judge. But now that I have cut it down, I will judge. And now I'm going to say that's a lot. Because I know that what a lot is. I've been there, done that.
Yes.
You're skinny though.
You run up the stairs.
You know, walk into work. Or, you know, run up the stairs.
You're skinny though.
You run up the stairs.
What?
You're really skinny though.
No, but I do eat a lot of, like, crappy food. So
Yeah.
I reckon, I mean, what did they say? When you get to 30, it all just, you go mental, don't you?
Yeah, they
what I
say
mean?
that. Play a record. That's the philosophers, isn't it? When you get to 30, you go mental.
Oh, Descartes.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember
Yeah,
now.
play a record.
Better Bowie?
Oh yeah, I brought this in. You'll love this, Steve. Oh, you know this, I think. I'm sure. This is a great Bowie track off Aladdin Sane, one of my favourite albums. And this is Lady Grinning Soul. It's beautiful. Badly Drawn Boy, Silent Sigh on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. You can do your
I
own.
feel like this episode didn't have much music.
Oh, right, okay, my name's Steve Merchant.
Yeah, Carl.
I'm Carl.
Yeah, exactly.
You've not lost interest, have
I'm
you, Rick?
Donkey.
No, of course I haven't.
Okay. Go on.
It's silly to. I've said it once. I was a bit bored with just saying your names.
Okay.
I don't mind saying mine because I'm sort of interested in that.
Yeah, sure.
But the other ones are sort of more of a chore. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing in it for me.
Yes, there's no actual
I'd
personal gain.
rather not mention either of you.
Okay.
So if you want to do it from now on.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, obviously still got plenty to come. We've obviously got some great music, Rick, and that's obvious.
Well, I've got a bit of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Actually, an album you introduced me to, and I'm going to play Into My Arms.
Looking forward
And
to
you
that.
know how beautiful that song is.
That's true enough.
Yeah.
But I was talking about this little bit of acting I was doing yesterday, and not wishing to be disrespectful to anyone that was involved, but there was obviously some extras or supporting artists, as I believe they're known, and you know, all good lovely people, really putting the effort in, doing good work and everything. But there's this one guy I stood next to, and you know, he's quite a tall guy, not quite as tall as me, but tall guy, you know, quite a good looking bloke or whatever. And I just sat there, and he obviously gets quite boring because there's a lot of just hanging around and people waiting and stuff, fixing lights. I just stood next to him, and he just went, oh, he was looking for something to say to me, obviously, and he went, looking forward to the new Guns N' Roses album? And I went, I didn't realise there was one on the way, actually. He went, yeah, obviously they, Slash won't be in it, because obviously Slash is no longer with them, but, bloody a sweet child of mine, one of my favourites, just started singing some of the songs. I went, okay, great. He went,
Without
yeah,
irony, I
absolutely
assume.
without irony. He was just wanting to get onto a discussion of Guns N' Roses, but I'll tell you this, he did not look like a rocker in any way. He looked like a bloke who would work in sort of an accountancy, agency, yeah.
Says the guy that's fascinated with hip-hop looking like this. Sure.
Or Barclays, yeah, behind the counter, something like
Yeah.
that. Very well scrubbed, well groomed.
I'd say there's nothing wrong with Barclays or the people who work therein.
That's true enough.
Okay.
So he goes, yeah, I mean, I got into them with Appetite for Destruction, the classic first album, but I even, you know, I enjoyed the Spaghetti Incident as well. I mean, I like all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, okay. And he goes, I said to him, you ever seen them live or anything? He went, I have not seen them live, no, but I was lucky enough to be at Donington, Monsters of Rock, and Slash's Snake Pit was playing, which was Slash's solo effort. if you
Yeah,
remember. And he went, I've never been to those live gigs before, and I was down in the mosh pit. Oh man, and I was down there, and I'll tell you this, have you been in the mosh pit? I went, oh no. He goes, oh, it's crazy down there, it's wild. A guy threw a punch at me, I punched him, knocked him straight out, he knocked me out, so as this fight went off, oh, it was amazing. I went, you're gonna go back? He went, no, I won't, because once you've done something like that, you can never repeat the experience, you know. I mean, everyone there was dressed in black. I think I was the only guy wearing a white t-shirt. I was like, okay, I could just imagine him tucked in as well.
That's why they attacked him.
Exactly.
It's like ants.
Yeah.
They
Slash himself, so
yeah.
get the door.
yeah, there's a termite in the nest.
Exactly.
And they just turned on him.
But so anyway, so I'm going, okay, so do you go to gigs often? He went, no, I don't think I'm ever going to go to another rock gig. And I said to him, why? And he went, I don't think any gig I go to will be able to top the experience of seeing UB40 live.
That's an interesting take on life.
Do you know what I mean? And I almost did what you did.
That's why I've never seen him live, because I don't want to end my life.
But I almost
There'd be no
laughed.
point
I
then.
thought it was a joke. I thought he was making a joke, and I was about to laugh, and I realised he was deadly serious, and I went...
UB40.
Oh, good were they? He went absolutely blinding. One of the most incredible live experiences I've ever seen.
I imagine.
Absolutely
Did they
remarkable.
do songs in a sort of mock reggae style?
Apparently
for
they
2
did.
hours.
And then he began to
Excellent.
tell me which of his favourite. He went, I don't know if I said, have they done anything recently? Or put anything out? He went, I don't think they're going to be able to top those classic albums, Bag of Riddim and Rat in the Kitchen.
I remember once when I went to sign on, okay, and I don't know what year it was, must have been like 1979 or something, and my first I left school, and tell me if I'm wrong if it wasn't out then, but this bloke was at the back with sort of like a ghetto blaster, and he was playing 1 in 10.
Right.
Obviously making a point, he was in the dole office. Everyone ignored him, and when it finished playing, he turned it down. And he took a number and queued.
The days when they were a protest.
When was that? What year was that? What year did someone can pinpoint that for me. Phone in 08700 800 1234. I know it had just come out.
But what was amazing is when he said that about UB40 being the best live experience I've ever seen, it was one of those moments where you thought, I never thought I'd hear someone say that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know why I can't understand what kind of person you are. I suddenly realised at that moment there was such a chasm between us.
Is there anyone out there whose favourite band is UB40? Red Wine, maybe. UB40, yeah. Oh, they're a great bunch of blokes though. You see them, they crack me up when I see them interviewed. They're really funny. But once you've heard one, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I imagine. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm a Philistine.
Maybe there's some hidden depths to them that we don't understand. Maybe some great tracks that you could point out if you're a big fan.
Well, I'm never going to go and see him because why? No. Why sort of like top your experiences?
Exactly.
You know,
because you're never going to better it.
When I know I'm definitely dying, I'm going to go.
You'll summon them to play for you.
Yeah. Get me UB40.
Get me Labour of Love live.
Do Right in the Kitchen. Now.
This is a little bit of a treat that I thought I would charm you with, Rick. From The Cure's greatest hits. This was this double CD that they brought out recently, including 18 acoustic versions of their greatest hits.
Yeah.
And this is the acoustic
What
version.
have you gone for?
I've gone for, glad you've asked, Just Like Heaven.
Wise choice.
What a weird philosophy to have on life, dude, because I always thought that when you have any experience, whatever it may be, that you enjoy enough, thoroughly, whatever, then that is an experience to repeat. Like, say you try, I don't know, sushi for the first time. You're like, oh my god, that's delicious. I love it. You know what? I'm never going to try it again because I loved it so much today that maybe the next time I'm going to eat it, it's going to be crap and I'm going to be mad, so I'm never trying it again. No. If you like sushi, you repeat that and you try it all. There's like a great variety and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you try skydiving and you had a good time and you're not afraid to die a second time, I mean, to almost die a second time, you do it, you save up and you do it again. Like, you know what I mean? It's so weird. Like that, the philosophy of not repeating, it's just everything becomes just so boring. Oh, I saw this one movie once. It was a comedy. I laughed so hard. I'm never going to watch a comedy again because nothing's ever going to top that. Oh, I bought this video game and I played it once and I had such a good time that, like, what? That's crazy. Life becomes so boring. It's so odd. But sure, each to their own, right? Everybody has their own kooky way of going through life, and that's just fine. But hey, it's odd to me, all right?
XFM 104.9. Lovely, that one.
Brilliant, isn't it? The acoustic version of Just Like Heaven from The Cure's double CD.
I'm loving it, loving it.
Collection.
Now, again, I broke the rules in the week. I met up with Carl. I had lunch with him. And we were chatting and having a cup of tea. And it got onto one of Carl's favourite programmes, was the Tales of the Unexpected.
Ah, of course.
And all I can think is that he's probably the only person in Britain
Great viewing. Got
where
it.
they were unexpected. I mean, to him, when that twist came in, you go, gee, I can't...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Can't believe
So it was the tree that did it. I mean, he was probably the only... And we were telling all these stories of horror, and he liked horror stories. And I told him this story. And I don't know if this had come across the radio, but I told him this story. It was a short. It was a horror short.
This was a film you saw, was it?
Yeah. And what it was, it started off just had been a car crash. You see, it's a horrendous wreck, and you saw it from the point of view of the person in the car, and he was calling for his mate, and he was going, Dave. And he sort of looked over and saw a body without a head that had been thrown at. He goes, oh no, Dave, Dave. And then into the field of view came Dave, his mate, and looked at him with a look of horror, and then it sort of went black, and you realised that he was just a head, and it had been his body.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, then it came up at the end, at the executions in the French Revolution, people experience consciousness for, you know, and he went, oh, no, he said, it wouldn't be for that long. And then he went, if it was a chicken, it would work.
No.
Imagine remaking that film, but it's two chickens in horrendous car crash.
Their own fault for driving.
It would work. No, he wasn't having that.
Yeah.
No, it was too long. I think he said, how long was this film?
Dude, this guy's crazy because now he's saying it'd work if it was chickens, but the other day he had an issue with the fables because they were animals and they weren't people. Can you make up your mind, Carl, please? Do you want animals and stories or do you not?
Went on out 5. No, it was too long. I think he said, how long was this film? Went on out 5 minutes. He went, no. It would work if it was a chicken.
I like the way that Carlin, something like, when you relate an incident like that, he's appalled and offended and annoyed by the people that made it, even though he's never seen it.
Oh, he's annoyed, yeah. Like,
I want to see it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But they should have thought it through a bit more.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite Tales of the Unexpected, one that you remember particularly that shook you up?
Yeah, we were talking about the one on, where, there's some woman in prison. Have you seen that one?
No, I can't remember them all.
Right. This woman's in prison.
Yeah.
And, she gets a bit friendly with the guy who takes the dead bodies out.
Right.
And, he says, who takes the dead bodies...
Okay, what?
And, she gets a bit friendly with the guy who takes the dead bodies out.
Takes. I was understanding text, and I was... Who texts dead body? I was... Okay, takes. Got it.
Right.
And, he said, I can get you out of here. He said, what you've got to do, right? You've got to, I don't know, at midnight...
When you hear the bell toll, that means there's been a dead body.
Yeah, there's been a dead body. So what you got to do is go into like the place where all the dead bodies are, get in the first coffin on the right, and then I'll come along and carry you out, and you can run away and escape.
Yeah.
Right. So she goes, yeah, all right then. So she hears the bell go.
I'll bury you, right, and then I'll come back later and dig you up.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's the point.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. Trust me, Carl. It
All right,
really
then,
matters.
okay.
Listen, I don't know if I'm going to ruin this for people at home.
Yeah.
Can I just skip to the end? I would imagine that she gets buried and he doesn't come back, and she has to get buried alive.
Better than that.
Okay.
Yeah, she does it. She gets into the coffin.
Yeah, shh.
Go on.
Right. So she gets in the coffin, and she's lying there for ages.
She's
and
buried.
She can feel a bit of movement going on, so she's obviously, you know, being carried somewhere, so she's thinking, this is it, I'm getting out. And she's lying there for ages and thinking, why isn't someone coming and lifting the lid off this? Do you know what I mean? Letting me get out. So she's really bored. She gets a lighter out, right? Lights it to have a look at who she's lying on. It's only the fella who said he'd help escape.
Oh.
How bad is that?
That is... How bad is that?
So it is quite important that she's buried alive then, isn't it? In retrospect, you realise that the jeopardy is that she's buried alive and can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes
That
it
was
so
a good
much
one. I like that one. There's that movie with, I think it's Ryan Reynolds, where he was buried alive in the whole movie. I have an issue with movies that take place all in real time and in just one location for some reason. I don't know why. I don't like them. I need, like, scenes and more characters and stuff and a whole timeline. And it's just, there's one, like, with Jodie Foster and Kristen Stewart, I think it is. That's the daughter. And she, like, they kidnap her on a plane. And the whole thing happens on a plane in, like, an hour and a half. I don't know. It's just... It doesn't do it for me. But anyway, there was one where the guy got buried alive. I can't remember what the movie was called. I wouldn't be surprised if it was called, like, Buried Alive or something, but whatever. And it's just the guy in the box with a lighter. That movie actually wasn't bad, but like I said, it doesn't do it for me. But I remember it was a good one, but I can't remember what it was called. Why do I mention that? Because I thought you were going to put an image of that, and then you put an image of someone else. That's it. That's the only thing. That's all. That's the only reason. Oh, I saw that in the movies too.
Worse, doesn't it, than just like lying in the... Yeah. It makes it so much worse, doesn't it, than just like lying in the morgue and going, actually, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work.
Look at Carl's face. Having told that, he's so pleased. His face is lit up. He's beaming like a child.
Is that your favourite horror thing ever?
That's a good one. And
let's see if anyone knows what the finger is. When that bloke was under the ground, wiggling his finger.
We're talking about one with some fella who's stuck in the ground or something.
This is a motif I noticed in your particular favourite ones. Yeah,
right.
People stuck in the ground. Go on.
Right. So she.
It's a fella.
A fella stuck. Now I seem to remember it just being his foot, to be honest, being stuck in a hole. And
no, he was under the ground and he got a little thing out of the pavement and he put his finger up and wiggled it to try and attract attention. Then you see a woman come along and her stiletto heel just knocks his finger off.
You see, I'm wondering whether it's the same one as I saw.
Yeah, it could be two like that, couldn't there? It's a...
They were running out of ideas by the last series.
It's a big theme in Hollywood.
Or,
I used to love that stupid show, 1,000 Ways to Die. Oh my god. And then they got so ridiculous. Like, the first ones were, okay, interesting. Never woulda, But, yeah, then they just lost it. Not as per usual, but... I always thought that show was very interesting if anybody was, like, writing a novel or whatever and they needed a creative way for someone to die. I always thought that was kind of... And like, for research purposes, I thought it was interesting. But, so I remember some were just really dumb. But, I haven't thought about that show in a while. Jesus. Did they ever get to 1,000? Because they would write up random numbers. I think probably even repeated numbers at times, but did they ever get to 1,000?
What was...
It's a big theme in Hollywood.
Or, what was that one you told me about with the porn? That was a good one.
Oh, this was fantastic, right? Right. There was this,
Sorry, can I just check now? We're just remembering classic episodes of the Tales
No, this is important. Well, I saw one, right? I saw one, on Tales Unexpected, right? And it was, these two gents, what they used to do, they look down the obituaries and they'd blackmail the wife or the son of a dead eminent person, like might be a priest or a doctor, like that, and they'd go and they'd say, he bought some erotic stuff from us before he died and he owes 100 guineas and all this sort of stuff, and they'd pay up because it'd be so embarrassing. They just didn't want them to say, just pay him, right? And this one bloke said, who are these people? I'll meet with them. And he goes round there, and he goes round, and they go, your father, he goes, my father could not have bought any erotic material from you. They did it, he goes, he couldn't have, he's blind. Right, and that was the twist. And Carl went, so it was magazines, not videos then.
Yeah. Now think about it, Steve. Is that so stupid?
Well, presumably it was set in olden times because people, professional pornographers don't tend to call it, erotic material.
Yeah.
They tend to call it, juicy jugs or whatever. But more than that, I don't understand how a video is going to be any use to a blind person either. I know that you can hear the sound, Carl. Look at him nodding like he's caught me out.
Yeah, what sound were you hear? Do. Your meter needs looking at? Yes. Cut. What's then? What's that? Then it's just noises, isn't
occasional groans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You could listen through the wall at your neighbours.
Yeah. He does.
I mean, that's why I save a lot of money. But I thought you were going to point out, Carl, that they could have had a Braille porno. Now, have you thought of that?
Look,
Genuine question. Did you make that? Or did you find that on the internet? You know what's hilarious? That's the first thing that came to my mind. Not because I thought that was acceptable, but I thought Carl was gonna say it. But there you go. That works too. That's hilarious.
feel the lumps on that.
Exactly. Think about it, Carl.
Think about it.
You're excited now.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend's away, Carl.
Yeah, but she's great as only under the cupboard.
No, she's a good-looking lady.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow. Wow.
Next, we've got White Van Carl.
Oh, excellent.
Did you hear him?
Star Sailor, poor, misguided fool. Well, it's time. Well,
go on.
That time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play the jingle.
Yeah. White van man, Carl.
Brilliant. Recorded at great expense, that jingle.
Yeah.
This is where we just hijack an idea from The Sun, which is White Van Man, where The Sun asks, in this instance, a cabbie by the look of it. Oh no, a fruit and veg shop owner.
Ours is slightly different because the Sun sort of like pick on a perfectly normal member of the public.
Exactly.
So that's where we've got the
the upper hand.
Yeah.
And they ask him about the the hot potatoes. This week, Carl, my first question to you, well, your thoughts, please, on the criticism of the BBC over their coverage of the Queen Mum's death. What do you make of this?
What? Too much coverage, or too many
aware of all the criticism that Peter Sissons asked some probing questions?
No, I thought it
wore
was
a burgundy tie.
I thought that's it. Yeah, he just had it didn't show respect. He just had a burgundy tie on.
See, that's not really not showing respect, is it?
No, it's not.
You know, you show your respect by sort of doing the news on it, giving her a bit of coverage, and showing, you know, what
bit of publicity.
What a good woman she was or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you move on to sport news or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally agree.
I don't like the way everything's morbid. I was thinking about it. It's like, you know, the way in birthday cards and that, people always put funny things in them. I think you should save things like that for funerals, for like funeral cards and that, and try and cheer people up at times when they're low.
Wait, what? That he planned his funeral is factual, and being a prankster quite actual. He pre-recorded his voice, so when he kneeled on the joist, he said, "Hi there, don't I look natural?" What? Did he say what I think he's... What? Also, there's this Irish guy that did that had, like, at his funeral, he had this recording like he was being buried alive or whatever, but in a funny kind of way. That got very viral and popular, and that was fun. But what?
Funny things in them. I think you should save things like that for funerals, for like funeral cards and that, and try and cheer people up at times when they're low. Do you know what I mean? Because on your birthday you're quite happy anyway, so you don't need someone putting a funny comment in a card. I think, you know, when you send a card...
What would you suggest?
Well, you know,
Bring 'em
cushion,
down.
but on the vicar's chair. How would you liven up the funeral?
just little things in the card. I mean, you're just writing stuff like, well, you know, at least you're
It's better to be over the hill than buried under it. God, like what?
still alive or whatever.
So as you're giving the eulogy...
So, that'd be good. So suppose someone's husband's killed in a car crash, you go around with some flowers and a little card, and it says, "At least you're still alive."
Well, maybe something funnier than that.
Well, maybe, like, if you got up to give the eulogy during a funeral, just wear a pair of comedy tits.
Yeah, or those glasses that are eyes on sort of springs.
But why has everyone got to be so sad about someone dying?
No, what annoys me is that when you see the people on television, the sort of members of the public, and they're crying about the Queen Mother, who was sad when anyone dies, sad when anyone nan dies. She was 102, and I mean, it's sort of like, I think they should cry.
Well, there's a picture in the paper today.
I don't understand it.
There's a picture in the paper today of various people who were lining the funeral kind of route yesterday, and there's a picture of a very young child, maybe sort of 5 or 6, on the arms of her dad, and her head bowed, and it says a young girl there weeps for the Queen Mother. And I was looking at it, and you can tell she's just tired.
Well,
she's just tired and bored. It's so transparent that it's not crying. It's
Most
just,
people
what are
don't
we
cry
doing
when their
here?
nan dies?
Exactly.
You know, it's sort of like...
But what is a 5-year-old girl gonna be... Why is she gonna be crying? The Queen Mum said, "Oh, I can't believe it."
Yeah.
Teletubbies? No. The Queen Mum. Oh, not the tweenies. No, it's on in a minute.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Oh, dear.
I mean, I know. I'm sure, I don't know much about her. I don't know if she was a great woman, and obviously, it's always sad when someone dies. But it's like, it's interesting that there was a lot of tourists in that long line of people that are now queuing from hours upon hours to see her dying in state. Because it's clearly just people who want to be a part of history.
Must be gutting if you're over from Sweden and you find out that, the Queen Mum's died.
Oh, you must be devastated.
You probably don't want to carry on with your visit.
Exactly.
Really.
Okay, listen, Carl.
I think we've covered that.
What do you make of the, what do you make of the first genetically modified baby?
Oh.
Are you worried about this?
Do you know what did they do? What?
Let me see what it says here.
Well, isn't it just choosing the, eye colour?
Well, this is the concern, isn't it? That in the future you'll be able to decide whether it's a boy or a girl, how intelligent it is, what it looks like, is it handsome, is it ugly? Obviously, no one will choose an ugly baby, and so on and so on and so on. And so it means that where will it lead? Where will it end, Carl? Are you concerned?
I've thought about this a lot.
What will us three look like in the future?
But what did they do? They still didn't answer that.
If they're being, genetically modified beautiful people, what will we be like? How will we be considered in society?
True, yeah. But we've talked about this before, haven't we? About the cloning thing.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matters, because at the end of the day, right, you might look like some other kid, but it's the way you're brought up that will change your features and the way you are, your personality.
If you lie, you get a long nose, don't you?
Well, no, but listen, right, because I remember when we, I was growing up on this estate.
This is going to be good. Go on.
No, it's not. It's just an example of how this doesn't work.
Go on.
So we don't need to worry, sort of thing.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
So I'm growing up on this estate, and there was this woman about 4 houses down, right? Who's a bit rough. All right.
Didn't fancy her.
Oh God, no. Right, but she had a
Why?
baby.
Well, tell me about her first. I'm interested in this woman. Why was she?
It was a very.
Was it like being a man in a dress?
I mean, I didn't grow up in a posh house or anything, and I'm not saying that if you live in a bit of a rough house, you're a bad person.
What did she look like?
But anyone can
Tattoos?
clean up.
Looked like Tony Green with a fag on.
They didn't clean up much, right?
Oh.
Which, even if you've not got a lot of money, you can still try and make a place look nice.
Yeah.
Right? But she didn't, and a kid used to take a horse into the house.
Sorry. Whoa, Neddy. What do you mean a kid used to take a horse into the house? Where did they get a horse?
That was a nice horse.
Must have nicked it from somewhere. Must have done.
You've seen a horse in it? No.
What, is that from outside the saloon round the corner?
Was it just tied up with a bit of leather?
Right? And,
oh, that's great. Did Big
out.
Jake come looking for it?
I'd been out.
Oh. Right, sorry, let me get this. This was before the lynching stopped or after.
Where did he get a horse from? What do you mean he must have nicked it? He's going to say, where'd you get that from? I bought it. All right, then. But keep it out the kitchen.
I don't want you going Catlin rustling.
I love this.
Where did he get a horse from, Carl? Do you know how long did he have it for? Was he leading it or riding it? Mum, open the door, I can't stop!
I can't stop it. Open the patio door as well,
Looks like we got us a runaway. What do you mean?
I don't know, but the thing is, they couldn't afford to buy one because they're not cheap, so I'm just guessing.
That was like the most Carl thing ever. What do you mean? I don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't know, but the thing is, they couldn't afford to buy one because they're not cheap, so I'm just guessing. Maybe that's wrong of me. But I think...
He had a horse?
Yeah, right. So
that's why the family didn't have any money. They'd spend it on the horse.
No, I don't think, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they would have bought it. So anyway...
Yeah, it's wise to whisper, Carl, in case they're listening.
Yeah. And
they could be in the room next door.
It's not buying it, it's keeping it as well. Oh.
So I was like in the car with my dad, coming into the avenue, and you used to have to drive down it to turn round. And,
okay.
And, sort of go back to our house.
You had the traditional method of transport. Yeah.
And, the horse was in the lounge.
Reading a paper.
Just like walking around.
Whose horse is that? In whose house? Why are there so many pictures of this horse in that house? I love it. I love that it's just, it seems like an everyday occurrence in that house, by the way. That horse is just, he's home. He's just chilling.
Oh, God! What?
And when I was doing, I tried to earn myself some money once by flogging little flowers in plastic cups.
What? This is genius. It just keeps coming. What do you mean you're trying to flog little flowers? What do you mean?
Well, wait. Let's play a record. Let's play a record and come back to this, because the story's going to just unravel and unravel. It's going to go on for hours. Let's play a track,
deeper and deeper. It's like an onion, isn't it?
We've created a whole world here where there's a man living with a horse.
Just walking around the lounge.
I come from the West Country. I've never heard anything like that.
I just think of a big sort of like orange carpet and a rediffusion telly and this horse going, I'm fed up in here.
Exactly.
This is really...
I am not taking the rubbish out again.
Yeah.
Right, play a record. Let's have Velvet Underground. We've got that lined up.
Oh,
yeah, the classic from the first album. I'm Waiting for the Man. Let's come back to the horse in a second.
Little flowers in pots. What do you mean?
That was like the worst time to stop him. He was totally going somewhere with the flowers and stuff. Don't let him organize his thoughts. What do you want? That was awesome. That was just, what a bad moment to stop it.
classic first album, Velvet Underground and Nico, which apparently peaked at a disappointing 171 in the US charts.
Think of that.
And that's obviously Lou Reed, the Velvet Underground, and Waiting for the Man.
Yeah, great track. So, we were talking, we were doing White Van Man, and, we got onto,
genetically modified babies, but
and then
somehow
Carl started telling a story about someone with a horse, and then he got onto, he was trying to make money selling flowers. Just do the flowers briefly.
Well, hang on, I just want to recap slightly. So there was a family, and who had the horse in the family?
It was...
Because you lived on an estate in Manchester.
So the mother was a right pig, apparently.
Well,
I don't know whether that's
you don't
relevant.
need to go that far.
But
what
go
I'm
on.
trying to do is, like, make a picture for you so you understand.
What
So
did
what
she
a
look
picture
like?
it
Who
is.
did she look like?
Bit of a... And no disrespect to her. Bit like Pauline Quirk.
Quirky, yeah.
Right?
Okay, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be Pauline. Did she have any tats? Did she have any
I've
tattoos?
never got that close to it.
Okay, alright.
So who had the horse? Was this her son or her
No,
husband?
her daughter.
Her daughter had stolen a horse.
Yeah, from... I don't know where. There was I think there was some stables down the road or something.
And they kept the horse in the house with
They
them.
kept it in the house.
Did
But
they
didn't
get
have
caught?
it for long.
No.
So, and you said you were in the house one day and you saw the horse in
No,
there.
what happened was, I was, they did this thing at school about raising money for charity, right? For some local charity. And they said you can do anything to raise money, and they came out with all these ideas, and I thought, that's good.
What was the charity?
Well, I don't know, I thought, forget the charity.
Yeah, that's
I'm
just
the
a good
charity
money-making idea.
So-
You're a charity.
So, so I asked my mum for some, because she used to have a lot of flowers around the house.
Sure.
I said, can I just take some snippings off them? And I'll go and buy some plastic cups. And got some soil out of the garden, planted the bits of plants in them.
Yeah.
Got a tray.
Yeah.
Had about 25 plants on it, selling them for 25 pence each.
Excellent. Did you sell any?
Yeah, so loads.
Did you just cut, you didn't just cut them and stick them in the
Yeah,
soil?
they wouldn't have survived.
Oh.
But I think people sort of thought, well, good on him for trying. But anyway, so I went round to theirs, because I thought their house could do with a bit of colour and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a bit rough. So as I went
The
up,
horse went, thank God for that breakfast. They've been feeding me kitty cat.
so I got up to the door, and they opened the door, and it was one of them houses where no carpet,
Yeah. A horse in the living room.
You know.
We've all been there.
and the horse was walking around the living room.
Oh.
I looked quite happy and everything, because I always say that about animals.
Black Beauty
right?
was on. Yeah.
Well, think about it, right? If you were a horse, where would you rather be? In a little wooden hut with a load of hay, or in like a house with a
Central heating.
3-piece suite and
Sure.
a telly and that?
Telling you that.
No, but I was saying this the other day,
And an Atari.
right? I was walking through London the
Commodore
other day.
64,
Yeah.
rubbish.
Exactly.
Walking through London with Suzanne, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like homeless people always have dogs. And
Yeah.
she said, "Oh, I hope she looks after it." I said, "They've got that dog is happier than most dogs
Right.
because people always walk past and give it a pat on the head.
Yeah.
It's with its owner all the time.
Yeah.
It's out in the open. It's not locked up in a house.
Yeah.
It doesn't
You know what I
eat,
mean?
but other than that...
No, you know what I've heard so many times from when there's a situation where a homeless person can share their story and stuff, and when they do have a dog, whatever that, you know, maybe if somebody interviews them or somebody that got out of that situation and then looks back or whatever, but I've heard several times from homeless people that do have dogs is that everybody that gives them food or help or whatever, everybody always gives them stuff for the dog. And sometimes, more often than not, they end up eating freaking dog food because some people are so worried that that dog gets to eat something, they don't even care about the homeless guy. So that they end up having mountains of food and stuff just for the dog, and they go hungry. So again, more often than not, and a lot of times, they'll get like a bunch of canned dog food and like nobody gives them a can opener, so I just got a bunch of canned food. Like obviously just go buy a can opener, but you know, sometimes it isn't that easy, all right? But yeah, more often than not, people will have more empathy and want to help the animal in that situation than the person. So that kind of just piles on a little bit to what Carl's saying. I mean, yeah, they're always with their owner. They're outside, sure. I'm not saying he's right, but those dogs in that situation, a dog honestly just wants company. Dogs that have a hard time or dogs that are abandoned or whatever, and they just want to chill with their owners. So, in a dog's mind, in a dog's perspective, they don't understand. Oh, we're homeless. Oh, we have no money. Oh, we can't. You know. and they get food, they get their owner. I mean, yeah, it's probably not that bad for the dog, but that is messed up. Yeah, so just something I thought I'd share because I found that interesting because you do see a lot of homeless people with dogs. I'd say animals, but it's almost always dogs. But yeah, apparently people just, in their mind, they're being amazing and helping and stuff. But yeah, that's how it ends up. Everybody just cares about the dog and nobody cares about the person.
No, it does eat though. They're always all right. So that's what I was saying. I think this horse was doing all right for itself. Do you know?
Well, not many horses have got their own house.
Exactly.
For a start, yeah.
But anyway, that's what
by
we
the
were talking
by.
about. Yeah. So anyway, this family, who's a bit. What we were talking about, it was about cloning.
Genetically modified kids
Yeah.
and all that stuff, yeah.
Right now, what I'm saying is, you could say, right, Steve, you could have a baby, right? And Ricky could see it and say, God, I want one that looks like that.
Yeah.
Is that really baby Stephen Merchant? Wow. Okay.
Right.
It could happen, Rick.
You never know.
So
Come on, work with him.
So you take it to the doctors.
Whoa. I don't know what just happened, but what I wanted to do was speak, and what I wanted to say while I was speaking was, neither of these three men have children, correct? They're always talking about future kids and stuff, and that none of them, that never happened for any of them, I believe, right? Okay. I don't know what that was. Sorry, my bad.
And I don't know what they do. They inject it with something or whatever.
Yep, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
And get a little baby, and there it is. It looks the same. Now, the thing is, you separate. You both go off and do your own things.
Yep.
Right? Now, you look at Stephen, you look after your baby.
Yeah.
You treat it well. You give it good food and
I'm
that.
a good dad.
All the vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
Ricky just gives it cheese.
And beer.
Right? So then it changes its looks. It goes a bit fat. You know, it gets tired easily and that sort of thing. Now, when this family,
Why am I just feeding a baby cheese?
right? This family had a horse in their house.
Yeah.
They had a little baby, and my mum went round and said, "You're not going to believe this, but it's a beautiful looking baby, right?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, you know." And the weird thing is, it was a good looking kid, but as time went on, they didn't really look after it. And I'm not saying like abusing it, but it used to run around. It used to play out till like 10 at night.
Yeah.
It used to chase cars.
Right.
It was a bit.
Did it have hooves?
Yeah, no. Chase cars!
Right.
What sort of kid chases cars? Oh, God. Was it called Rover? Did it catch stick?
It's Liam, it was called, right?
Right.
Now,
It.
the weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, and all that, like, not eating properly and its hair was all patchy.
It's not Liam Gallagher, is it?
And chasing cars and that, and it became an ugly kid.
It's definitely Liam Gallagher.
And that's what I'm saying, right? You can clone all you like, but at the end of the day, it's how you brought up.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Not
Well,
just.
nice.
Sure.
Wow.
That was a hell of a point.
Yeah, that was
God.
But am I right?
a lot.
You're always right, Carl.
Finally, White Van Man,
100%.
what do you make of the fact that Sainsbury's are bringing in square tins?
Is
that a
true?
concern for you?
Is that true?
Apparently so.
Why?
Dunno.
Because it's easier to stack.
This is what the guy in the Sun has said. That should be interesting. That should be his comment on Sainsbury's are bringing in square tins. Is that should be interesting for meatballs. Ricky's just collapsed on the floor. Let's just play a song, Carl. I don't think even you can top that.
Black Rebel Marks Out Club. Whatever happened to my rock and roll? Well, near the end of the show, just time for
Oh my God.
the re-education
what
of
was that?
Carl revisited.
Oh, right.
Still got Nick Cave to come, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Now, Carl, you read.
I'm totally curious. Did that stick? Does that brand of whatever the hell that was still exist? And is it still square? I want to know. I legit want to know. For some odd reason.
A quote book. What did you learn from it? Tell us some pearls of wisdom. Just keep it down to one or two, your favourite things and why you like.
Also, I just, to touch quickly on the subject of Carl saying, you know, that beauty comes with, well, he said more the upbringing, but it has to do with more like lifestyle. That's totally true, sure. I have seen people that have been genetically blessed, right? And then through many I'd say wrong, but many a difficult life choices and lifestyle choices, their appearance suffered drastically. One person that comes to mind is Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse, when she was, healthy and just before her whole career kind of took off and stuff, she was gorgeous and she looked so healthy and you could see her and she was so full of life. And then, certain situations got her looking a different way. And that's especially common with drug use. You can have the most gorgeous human on earth and then you put them through years of hell and abuse and drug abuse and all that, and the end product isn't as pretty. That's totally a thing, sure. I mean, he has a point with all that, but it's just the way he says stuff that's extra fun and extra funny. But sure, also it happens a lot. The other day I can't remember what happened to one of them though, but there was a study it wasn't so much a study, but it was just kind of like a follow-up on two twins that were identical and they had completely different lifestyles. And just 30 years later, they brought them together to take some pictures, before and afters, and they looked so different. I don't remember what the issue was, the lifestyle of one of them was though. But that is very common with twins, that where one spends a lifetime wearing sunscreen and the other doesn't, and then the one that didn't use sunscreen ends up looking like such an older version of the one that did. That's crazy. So yeah. Beauty isn't just one of those things that you're just blessed with and that's it. This is one of those things you gotta, it takes work. I mean, you gotta eat right and do stuff right and clean up and take care of yourself and, just a lot of things. Also, one of those, how they say beauty sleep? Oh, is that real? Trust me. That's real. Anyway.
Right, well,
Down to one or two, your favourite things and why you like them.
Right, well...
Whoa, we're on the quotes, right?
You read a quote book. What did you learn from it? Tell us some pearls of wisdom. Just keep it down to one or two, your favourite things and why you like them.
Right, well, you said just pick a couple.
Yeah.
Right? So I wrote a couple down last night. And what I did, so they weren't boring, right? I've sort of...
Don't think you can ever be boring,
No,
but go on.
but what I've done, I've took different ones. So I've took a good one that I think, that's a good quote, that was worth putting in a book. I put one that isn't really a quote, so I don't understand it.
Oh, yeah.
One that isn't clever. and a funny one. So a bit of variation out of one book.
Oh, how long did this take you? What did you do? Did you sort of sit?
About half an hour last night.
And did you sit sort of quietly at a desk or something?
No, just in the lounge with the telly turned down.
Oh, right.
Just to give a bit of light to the room. Just had it on but turned down.
Have you figured out lights yet?
So,
So
the first one, never heard of him. This guy called Dean Axon.
Right.
And this is a good one. He said, the memo is written not to inform the reader, but to protect the writer.
That's good, yeah.
Stuff, that's very good.
That's
It relates a lot to, office life and so on.
Yeah, modern world and that. Mm-hmm. Right, so then, so I wrote that down, something that.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. My mom, a bajillion years ago, used to have a lawyer that he'd say, just throughout life, as life advice, always, life hack or whatever, always leave a paper trail of everything you do, everything. Just always leave a paper trail, something where if anything happens, you have evidence of, hey, this day I was here, I did this, I bought this. I always leave a paper trail. Much harder to do in this day and age when paper is pretty much non-existent, but I mean, the lesson stands. Always. just in case. You never know, okay? You never know when you're going to be a suspect in the murder. It could happen, okay? Sometimes it happens to innocent people. Well, actually, more often than not, probably. But, okay? I've been watching a lot of TV. But anyway, I always thought that was interesting because it kind of just stuck with her. And she's always like, always leave a paper trail. Anyway, I don't know if she learned from that, but something to that effect, I guess.
It's a lot to, office life and so on.
Yeah, modern world and that. Right, so then, thought, yeah, right, so I wrote that down because I liked it, and that's what you said to do. Second one isn't really a quote, it's more of a poem.
Okay.
So how does that work?
Well, that's
just
okay.
read it.
Right, well, it's about suicide.
Okay.
Right.
Lovely.
Razors pain you, rivers are damp, acids stain you, drugs cause cramp. Guns aren't lawful, nooses give, gas smells awful, so you might as well live.
Lovely.
Is that from Dorothy Parker?
I'll tell you what.
It is, yeah.
I hate it. I hate that.
Why?
It's nothing to me, that.
I think
And
that...
what? It's just a sort of weak,
right.
shallow
All
piece
right.
of
Well,
mock comedy.
This is why I did it in that order, because that's what I thought.
It's like a zany vicar would write from living in Frome when he's
Alright
about
then.
55 and get it published in the. I hate it.
All right, so
Oh,
you're saying you're not a fan of Dorothy Parker's work, right?
Right.
Now, the next one, Oscar Wilde.
Yeah.
Right, he's known, isn't he?
Yes.
Look what he comes up with. All art is quite useless.
Wait.
He's known, isn't he?
Yes.
Look what he comes up with. All art is quite useless.
Well, that's what's up with that?
Well, it isn't added art.
No, I know, but it's. Go on next.
But how has art helped you? How has it been useful to you?
It was a bit of a... It's one of the only things I like doing at school.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? When I made that little clay man, fixing a car.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
made a
how
clay
can-
man fixing a car. I'd forgotten about that.
How can he... I think that's stupid. And especially that it's gone in a book.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's easy to diss things.
Yeah. It's harder to
you're
work
right.
things out. You're right.
That was so cute. Like, I feel like that came from, like, a really deep place with him. It's easy to diss things. Oh, cute. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that one either. The last two were odd, to say the least. Sure.
I don't think art is useless, by the way.
No.
But then you don't have to agree or disagree with some of these things. Some of them are, sometimes it's just their thoughts put eloquently or poetically, isn't it? And it's just,
Just to
at the
provoke a
time-
reaction as much as
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Well,
Wasn't it art is useless? It's just 3 words. That's not even poetic. That's not anything.
and the good one, Ozzy Osbourne.
I mean, sorry, but just go back there. The irony is that is art. That he was an artist, wasn't he? So.
But you don't, okay, so you don't like Oscar Wilde, but you prefer Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, go on.
Ozzy Osbourne, cracking one this. Funny and educational.
I did not know his name was John. Or Michael. To me, it was always Ozzy. Interesting. All right.
I bit her head off a bat the other night. It was like eating a crunchy wrapped in a chamois leather.
Genius.
Oh, you're right, Carl.
Yeah.
So there's...
What do you like about that? The way he's described what it is like.
I think, yeah, if someone... I mean, you can imagine what it's like. Because I like crunchies.
Yeah.
And,
It's like a simmer,
and
yeah.
a chamois leather's really chewy, so you can imagine that's like the skin.
So you like
And
his
the crunchy
you
bits-
like his descriptive
Yeah,
writing.
The crunchy bit is like the bones and that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But you know, Carl, it's interesting because you've analysed Ozzy there, and in a way, that is the first step on maybe doing a new English GCSE.
Yeah,
you know,
you
being able to
said
study
you said
language
why you
and
liked
understand
it.
and...
You said because it describes what you've never eaten about yourself.
Yeah, but my teacher, Mrs. Kane, if I would have come into school with, a quote by Ozzy Osbourne, she wouldn't have been happy.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? And that's the difference between
She'd go, right, Carl, get your horse and go home.
Listen, though, we were talking about other quotes.
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
Do you know his one?
Yeah.
What, one giant leap for mankind?
Do you know it wasn't meant to be that? You know, it says, it's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, right?
Yep.
It was meant to be, this is one small step for a man,
Right.
i.e.
Yes.
me, the individual, on a microcosmic level,
Yeah.
one giant leap for mankind. And
I heard that. Yep. You know what? I'm gonna read that because it's a lot and just it's small for some people. So I'm just gonna read that because why not? Neil Armstrong, astronaut and first person to walk on the moon. After returning from space, Armstrong said that wasn't what he had planned to say. He said there was a lost word. Oh, why did I offer to read this? I can barely speak. He said there was a lost word in his famous one-liner from the moon. That's one small step for a man. It's just that people just didn't hear it. Hand washing. During a 30th anniversary gathering in 1999, the Apollo 11 commander acknowledged that he didn't hear himself say it either when he listened to the transmission from the July 20th, 1969 moon landing. The whatever, was intended. Armstrong said, "I thought I said it. I can't hear it when I listen on the radio reception here on Earth. So I'll be happy if you just put it in parentheses." Dude, you didn't say it, okay? Everybody heard that a bajillion times. You did not say it. Stop hand washing, my homie, all right? Get a grip.
And he mucked it up, because on a microcosmic level, one giant leap for mankind. And he mucked it up, because if you say, this is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, man there means mankind.
I know, it's embarrassing.
So you shouldn't give people... He's not a trained actor. He's more of an astronaut, to be honest. No, there are no awards. Is he BAFTA nominated? Don't think so.
But listen, right, he said another quote as he got back into the rocket. Have you heard about it?
That's behind their studio, right? That alarm? That's cool. All right. I can hear, like, the background. Somebody was in an emergency.
Back into the rocket. Have you heard about it?
Go on.
We're running out of time, and I'm just wondering whether it's worth saving as a bit of a teaser for next week.
What did Neil Armstrong say as he got back into the rocket?
Yeah.
Is it going to be
away?
Something like, that was boring, wasn't it? The mic's not still on, is it?
Yeah.
They're not still listening.
Well, that's what I was saying to you. He could have said that, and it would have still gone down.
Cheese.
It would have still gone down as an amazing quote, wouldn't it?
Well, listen, I think you should save it, Carl.
You tosser, I was meant to go.
No, I'll tell you what we'll do, Carl. We'll squeeze it in before the end of the show, because, Ricky, you got to play your song for the lovers.
Oh,
we should play this.
I don't think
There was no hip hop parade. This was, look, I'm not complaining because we skipped the music here because copyright and a whole bunch of things, and it made no sense for me to just randomly listen to the songs and stuff. But as like a radio show, I feel like this one had very, very little music. Again, not complaining. It's great on my end, but still.
Fit in, we might have to save it.
Don't worry, we'll see what we can do.
Well, next week, by the way, you've got happiness quotations, a collection of thoughtful words and beautiful paintings. I'll just give you an example of one. Happiness is a perfume you can pour on others you cannot pour on others without getting a few drops on yourself. It's lovely, that, isn't it?
Brilliant.
You can't be happy with that. This is Nick Cave and the Bad Seed, from the Boatman's Call. It's a beautiful song. Any song that starts off, I don't believe in an interventionist God, is alright by me. And this is Into My Arms. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Into My Arms. Well, that's it. We've run out of time.
We have indeed.
So no time for, Carl's quote. That'll have to come next week.
Yeah, we'll save that for next time.
Armstrong. Well, I hope you, enjoyed it. Goodbye.
Alright, Rick. Come on, it sounds a bit chirpier. It's not that depressing.
Well, yeah.
Sports next. You know how excited you are?
Go on.
You love the sport, don't you?
So this is their last show before they left for 12 weeks? So wait, because I didn't really check. Is there a Series 1 episode 20? Or does it directly go into Season 2? Or how is this? Whatever, I'll figure it out. I'll be informed. Don't worry about it. But that was awesome. And it feels so nice to be able to listen to this whole thing without having to rush. This episode was awesome, by the way. It was very, very Carl infused. Very fun, very nice. Like I said, they just kind of focused on the chat and barely had music and stuff. And it worked out great for me. I'm loving it. So thank you once again, Rusty. Beautiful work. I absolutely love the way you make these and just your timing and just all the little details and quirks and stuff. Just so appreciated. The fact that you don't show bees and just the explanations and everything. It's just wonderful. So I'm very appreciative of that. Very grateful. And ladies and gentlemen, this is over. I hope you enjoyed. This was great. This was fun. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, everyone, that made it this far listening to me and these guys and all that. You guys are wonderful. So I am off, and we shall meet again. Well, I'll do other videos, throughout the week, but a lot of you just listen to these. So for those of you, I'll see you again next Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful evening or whatever the heck comes next for you. I am off, toodles, and I'll see you soon.